what up? It's your bro, Rafaela. And before I move on, I want to wish everybody Happy New Year. It's been a while since I uploaded something, so I'm going to have more content in here. In my previous videos, I mentioned that I was wheelchair bound because I make some occasional weird moves when I turn off the camera, or because I no longer use the phone, so that's why I'm not moving as much. But today's going to be the reveal. Yep, I am going to reveal. I'm going to spill the beans as to why I'm wheelchair bound. And to begin with, I use both a manual and electric wheelchair. So no, not the chair from when they used to give the death penalty back then. Alright, so here's the reveal. The drum roll, please. Alright, so I was born with a genetic disorder known as Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. What that is it's a group of muscular dystrophies. There are like about 9, 10, or 11 types of muscular dystrophies, but I'm not going to go over them in this video. It's going to be a video for a different day. Maybe when I do a collab with someone who has a different type of muscular dystrophy, but not today. Today's going to be DMD, Duchenne's muscular dystrophy. So what that is, it is a genetic disease which causes your muscles to waste, your muscles to shrink in size, and the muscle cells to die out and make your muscles weaker in mass, and also, in many people, it becomes tighter. They get tight, but they become weak. So it makes daily tasks very challenging, and because it's progressive, you start off walking and running as a kid. You know, and you say you're 6 or 5. You run, you crawl, you jump. You do all kinds of physical activity. You can do anything, any physical movements, standing up, sitting up. But then as the disease progresses, all those movements are going to be impossible, to the point where you're completely immobile. And it also affects your breathing. So if it gets to the point where you can't breathe, then that's a problem, because that's a necessity. You need that shit. You need to breathe. And also your heart gets weaker too. It affects your heart because your heart is made out of muscles. And also your lungs are controlled by muscles to breathe. So you need those two functions to live, breathing and heart function. So those things become weak. They get messed up. And then you first start, usually people with this disease are usually children and teens, because most of them don't live beyond their 20s, their early 20s. So many of them end up passing away between early to mid 20s. So yeah, with this disease, it gets progressively worse, and you end up on a wheelchair right at the beginning of your teens, or right before you hit your teens. And then you get to the point where you need to start using a power wheelchair. And then if it gets worse, if your breathing becomes weak, then yeah, they will put you, usually the teenagers get on a ventilator, or like 20-year-olds they start using a ventilator. They get a little hole in their throat. I don't know if it's called a tracheotomy. I'm sorry if I butcher the type of treatment the hole that you get in your throat. Please correct me if you know how it's pronounced. So, and then also you're swallowing. It gets weaker too. You can't swallow larger chunks of food. So you need to have your food liquidated. And that's kind of messed up. It is messed up. Not just for the person who has it, who's struggling with it. Because, you know, a lot of people wish they didn't have that. They wish they could continue doing all the activities that the young adults can do. You know, like a lot of young adults, you know, you're in your 20s, your late teens, 20s. You want to do all the things before you hit your what they call a midlife crisis, or before you hit 30. You know, you want to get to do all the crazy shit and not give a fuck. Because that's what everybody wants to do. But then they get relegated to a position if you have that disease. But that doesn't mean that everybody has to lose hope and not live life. You can still live life. You just got to put it in your head. You got to try it. Despite the limitations, you have to find ways to live life. despite having that nasty condition. But anyways, I'm just wanting to blob about it. So yeah, that's what I have, and I feel like a loner when I have that disease, especially because I'm in my mid-20s and I still have a lot of strength. I can still push a manual wheelchair, but with the help of my feet as well. I can still push it. I can still do a lot of things. I'm not ventilated 24/7. I'm not using no feeding tube because I can swallow pretty good. I can chew. I can eat a whole ton. I have a big appetite. You know, supposedly when I was diagnosed, my parents didn't tell me anything. My mom didn't tell me anything because she didn't want to drill it in my head. That, oh, you have this and you have that, you're going to die at this, and this is going to happen to your body, this is going to happen, this and that, this and the third. Thankfully, she didn't tell me because, I mean, at 9 years old, I mean, you're 9, you're 10, you want to be a kid. You want to go play tag, hide and seek. And then when you become a teenager, you just want to go hang out with friends, you know, get yourself on the Xbox, PlayStation, whatnot, you know, get yourself, you know, get into gaming. And then you get into high school and, you know, you want to do all these things. You want to, I mean, if you like sports, you want to get into sports. And then when you go into college or university, because I went to university right after high school, you know, you want to become more proactive, get more into university, and get into other extracurricular activities. When you're at college or university, you just want to do more things, get into sports. Or unless you're just the type of student that just is a commuter student and just goes to class, like let's say at Cal State. That's how it usually is out here. It's just a commuter school. You just go to class and just get out, do your thing. And then another thing, because I see many parents of people with DMD that want to limit their kids. They want to limit them in doing whatever they want because of the fears or because they think that's the only way there is. And they want to control everything, even until adulthood. Because, you know, sometimes, yeah, it does cause learning disabilities for people with DMD, but not everyone. And there's some that don't have learning difficulties yet. They want to relegate them into just staying at home, you know, so they can just stay there and do nothing, which is kind of messed up. And I'll say to parents, once they get diagnosed with DMD, if they have a kid with DMD, don't feel sorry for them. Motivate them, push them, tell them that the world is not just disease and that's it. No, there's more to this world than disease. A lot of people who have terminal illnesses and yet they go have fun and live life like it's the last day. You know, teach your kids, you know, push them to until, you know, to their fullest potential. Don't limit them. You know, but yeah, don't exceed, don't overexert. Tell them that there's a lot of hope. And don't tell your kids that they have the disease at such a young age and they're gonna die at this age when they're 6 or 5. Don't do that, please. Because I see a lot of people my age with DMD, the few surviving people with DMD at my age, a lot of them just don't want to live life no more. They just want to sit at home and do nothing because they're depressed. Those that don't have learning difficulties, those that they're mentally high functioning. I feel like a minority at 26 and having DMD with a lot of strength enough to push a manual wheelchair. I do feel like a loner. It feels like shit, but I met a few other people on social media that have DMD, yet there's some of them that still walk. They're like 20 and beyond. Like, oh shit, that's just dope. And you still like myself, you know, I can still glide on the manual wheelchair. And like I said before, I do use a power chair as well. You know, no, I'm not going to execute myself. Sorry, now I'm going to glide with that one too. But anyways, if any of you have DMD and are 20 and beyond, 20 and older, and still have a lot of strength to push a manual wheelchair, to do your toiletries and stuff, or to dress up or even walk, please, I encourage you to put it in the comment sections. Don't miss out, please. And please put a like on this video if you can and share it around, as I feel like I'm the only one with DMD with this much strength in my mid-20s. And please spread hope around other people and families of people with DMD. And alright, I'm going to wrap it up and hope to see you next time. Alright, peace everybody.